been disavowed. You are now marked as rogue. Warning. You've disavowed the division and are marked as rogue. Warning. You've disavowed the division. This action will mark you as rogue. Warning. You've disavowed the division. This action will mark you as rogue.
I'm sending you a location. Reach it and your manhunt will be cleared. Confirmed. Rogue status no longer active.
This is a serious beatdown.
Make it, come on, guys. Make it for the guy, make it. There we go.
Rogue agents are now leading. victory.
Warning. Now entering a contaminated area.
Hey, what is up everyone? The LDB is back at it again, coming at you today with my 9k stamina Banshee build for 1.8.3. Now I had mentioned doing this build on a previous video and a handful of you reached out and said you'd like to see it, so here it is. Shout out to you guys. Now this build definitely does not hit anywhere near as hard as my previous Banshee build. If you haven't seen that video, I will have a link for it in the description as well as at the end of the video, so definitely check that out. But where this build lacks the firepower, it really gains a lot of survivability, which is somewhat important on a build that has no kind of self-heal. So maybe this is a build that might be for you. Now, I'm sorry about the gameplay. It's kind of rough running solo in the dark zone lately, since it usually kind of looks like this. Or like this.
Warning. An agent in your vicinity has gone rogue.
So I apologize for that, but as always, if you enjoy these videos or find them helpful, definitely hit that like button, subscribe for future content. If you are new to the channel, make sure you have that notification bell on, as well as go ahead and drop a comment down there letting everybody know how you're running Banshee in 1.8.3. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's go over these skills and talents really quick. Nothing too crazy here. I'm going to be running with a booster shot, temporarily increases damage and damage resistance. So again, it's a 2-for-1, 15% damage up and 7.5% damage resistance. Can't beat it. So pretty straightforward here as well. The support station immunizer, anytime you go into PvP, you have to worry about the pred bleed, the shock turrets, flame turrets. Those are a big thing right now, and this will definitely help keep you safe from that. You could always go with the pulse if you want to get your crit chance and damage up a little bit higher, as well as maybe a shock turret, something like that, if you want to make them stand still so you can land some headshots or something like that. Whatever your take is, to each their own. Try out some different things and see what works for you. But as far as signatures go, overall, I'm going to be using a recovery link because, again, I'm running solo overall. And, this will definitely help you out having a second life. If you're running with a group, definitely try out TAC Link because you have such a high stamina on this build. You can pop this, and now you're going to be doing as much damage as them, roughly, and you're going to have all that stamina to back it up. So that'll definitely help you out. Or you could always go with the Survivor Link, having a high stamina build and then popping this. Well, your damage resistance, 50% on top of all the stamina that you already have. It's a good thing. So to each their own, whatever you want to run. Again, try out different things for yourself and see what's working. So let's go on to the talents. Okay, so the talents that I'm going to be using are Adrenaline. Medkit gives you that 7 seconds of immunity from status effect, which is a really nice thing when you pair that with the immunizer box. If your box goes down or you step outside your box, you get burned, you get bled, shocked, whatever, which is basically what everybody's trying to do to you nowadays, right? This will definitely help you out. You pop that med kit, you have that 7-second time frame to turn around, do some damage to them, and that can definitely turn the tides of a fight big time. I've seen that turn fights around real fast as soon as you pop that med kit, and their status effect is no longer working on you. Definitely a must for me, unless you're running some kind of skill build. I can see it's a little different, but overall, definitely run with Adrenaline. Now, moving on to critical save, use a medkit during low health to increase damage resistance by 20%. So when I pop that medkit, if I'm really getting lit up and I get that chunk of life back, it's actually a nice chunk of life because I have so much stamina. And that damage resistance, 20%, you can usually duck back, get back with some teammates, group back up, pick your shots, whatever you got to do. Definitely helps you out a lot. Now, moving on to precision. Headshot a hostile to pulse them for 10 seconds. So if you are not running a pulse, this is definitely a must for me, I would say, on any kind of crit build. But even if you are running a pulse, if your pulse is down, this will take over, and it really can help out a lot. Headshot a hostile, pulse them for 10 seconds. Pretty straightforward and easy to do overall. especially when you like to face tank like me. Now, moving on to on the move, kill a hostile while moving to reduce incoming damage 15%. So again, just a little bit of a incoming damage buff, and any way you can do that on any build, I think, is a great thing. So let's get onto the build itself. And here it is. So, as you can see, nothing crazy. 6-piece Banshee. We have over 9,000 stamina. We have the toughness at 597,000. I was trying to break 600,000, but I'm really not sweating 3,000 toughness. The firepower is really nice, 351,000, and that's with the card counter flop down. So, it's going to be doing even better when that flaps up, and the firearms is only at 4,000. So it's basically set up how I would do a pred build. Overall, you have the 4 pieces here, the chest piece, the backpack, the mask, and the knee pads all rolled for stamina, and max them out as much as possible. And then you have the holster, which is obviously rolled everything across the board, max that out, and then you can have a piece rolled for firearms. I typically choose the gloves, and that's how I've gotten to this point right here. A lot of people get stuck at about 3,900 firearms, and they'll have over 9,000 stamina, and I just want to clear that up. You do have to optimize some pieces, and you will be able to have one piece rolled for firearms like I have here. So either way, let's get on to the weapons here. The primary weapon that I'm going to be using is a house. It has vicious, deadly, and card counter on it. Since we do have all that stamina and the toughness up there, we are going to be able to stay in our first segment of life a little bit longer, so that vicious will go to work. I was going back and forth with the secondary weapon that I have, which is unforgiving deadly, and honestly I was doing a little bit better with the vicious deadly one. After I basically dump the first mag, just swap to your secondary. By then, Unforgiving will be going to work typically, and you can just keep on rolling with it. That's how I've been doing it. It's been working out pretty good overall. Now, the mods that I have on this weapon are a magazine with mag size, crit damage, and rate of fire. The optic is crit damage, accuracy, and crit chance. The muzzle is crit damage, crit chance, and accuracy. And we have the underbarrel with crit damage, stability, and a little bit of optimal range. And the secondary, basically the same thing overall, nothing too crazy. They're both maxed out, really nice weapons, and it's been working out nice for me. So let's get into the specifics for the build itself. Okay, so let's go over what we're going to actually get from Banshee really quick. The 2-piece gives you that plus 20% looted DZ fund, so that's awesome if you enjoy farming the Dark Zone. You're going to get a lot more money for your time, and that's just an awesome thing all the way around. Now, the 3-piece gives you that plus 10% damage to targets out of cover, so as long as they are not hiding from you in cover, 10% damage up across the board. It's awesome. I'm loving it. Now, the 4-piece gives you the talent Banshee. While rogue, all ammo is completely refilled every 30 seconds. So, if you can't get ammo on your backpack or your chest piece, anything like that, don't worry about it too much, because as soon as you go rogue, all your ammo will be completely refilled every 30 seconds. Now, if you plan on taking this into skirmish or last stand, anything like that, definitely spec for some ammo, because this will not be active because you are not rogue or anything like that. But either way, moving on, damage taken from non-rogue players is reduced by 10%. While not rogue, damage to rogue players is increased by 10%. This bonus is increased to 20% for 10 minutes after being killed by a rogue. So, if you are not rogue, and some rogue runs up and puts you down, sends you back to the checkpoint, you come back out, 20% damage up for 10 minutes. That's basically like saying card counter is active for 10 minutes straight. It's an awesome thing, super, super strong, and again, I'm loving it there. Now, the 5-piece gives you another 20% looted DZ funds and another 5% damage to targets out of cover. The 6-piece gives you the talent Improved Banshee. This is really interesting here. While rogue, the time to clear manhunt status is decreased by 5% for every group member within 15 meters. So, if you're sitting there trying to turn it off and everybody's close to you, it's going to take no time at all, and you're going to get it off, no problem. Now, all rogue status actions that result in a rank up, or they should say just killing somebody, are doubled. So every time you put somebody down, it gives you 2 ticks on your Manhunt or your Rogue status instead of just the 1. You get 2 instead of the 1. You can go Manhunt in 3 kills. 3 kills. Rewards for clearing Manhunt status are improved, so you get the Banshee caches. Now, while not Rogue, damage to Manhunt status players is increased by 2% for each Manhunt level the player has. So, the higher Manhunt level they are, the more damage you're doing to them. I mean, like I said before in the other video, it's pretty counterproductive for them, but it's awesome for you. Now, rewards for killing a Manhunt player are improved as well. So that's what we're going to be getting from Banshee. Now let's look at what we're actually going to get for the specifics on this set. Okay, so the chest piece that I have is rolled for stamina. It has skill haste, health, and ammo capacity on it. And we have 2 stamina with health mods. I wanted to get that health up, like I said, closest to 600,000 as I can. I don't know if it's just my OCD, whatever, but either way, trying to push that health as much as possible, and a couple of mods can definitely help you out a lot. Now, moving on to the mask here, it is rolled for stamina with crit chance, disorient resistance, and we have a stamina with crit chance mod on there. The knee pads are rolled for stamina with crit damage, shock, bleed, and burn resistance. So again, pretty good there. Those are pretty much god roll, I'd have to say. You got all of the resistances that we basically worry about overall. And it has a stamina with crit chance mod with a 6% first aid self-heal. Again, like I said in the other video, this build has no kind of self-heal on the build itself. So, any way you can push it, anytime you pop that heal is a great thing. Now, moving on to the holster, it is 1401s across the board with that crit chance on there. And we have a 6% first aid self-heal on there as well. The gloves are rolled for firearms with SMG damage, crit damage, and crit chance. And, well, I was going to go down and look at the mods. We don't have mods for the gloves. Oh, boy. It's getting late. The backpack that we have here is rolled for stamina with crit damage and burn resistance. And we have a stamina with crit chance mod with 2 more 6% first aid self-heals. So that's about that, guys. That's the build overall. And also, if you are going to be going into skirmish mode or last stand, anything like that, like I said on the previous video, it's a big thing to break the 6-piece. You don't want the 6-piece because the 6-piece talent is useless in those modes. So what I was doing was putting on the Savage gloves, and it actually was working out really nice. As you can see here, we got the stamina still 9,000, but the firearms is at 4,000. So we take a little bit of a hit, but it's not too big of a difference. I mean, it's not too bad at all. That's what I would recommend. You could always go with a Barrett chest or something like that, whatever your preference may be. Let's take a look at the character sheet really quick, break that down. We have the weapon damage 17.2 per bullet. That is before card counter is flopped up. This is the raw damage when it's on the low end. But we do have 56% crit chance and 136% crit damage. So, whatever lands is gonna hurt pretty bad. Not too bad at all. Headshot damage, not too good, 50%, just the base on there. Accuracy, stability, a little bit here and there. We have the 12% SMG damage bonus. We have nothing for damage to elites or anything. We got a little bit of skill haste on here. The max health here, 404,000. That's awesome. Over 400,000 max health is a great thing. And 597 with the armor. The armor is almost maxed out. We're getting there with it. I'm basically just dumped into the main stat rolls and things like that. And now I'll worry about the armor after the fact. We got the health regen. Moving on, we have some bleed resistance. We have a whole bunch of burn resistance. And we have a whole bunch of shock resistance. That is amazing right there. The top 3 that I worry about, we got them all covered, especially that burn. So if you got them flame turrets, it's really not... I'm not worried about it too much, in all honesty. I've been noticing more and more those flame turrets, the status effect, it kind of freaks you out, so you want to pop a med kit, but you're not burning too hard. It doesn't hurt you that bad. So, either way, guys, that's the build. I hope you enjoyed it. I might be getting a little bit sick here. My throat's been a little bit raspy, so sorry about that if you can tell on the video, but hopefully I'll be getting better soon here. But regardless, until next time, guys, I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, definitely smash that like button, subscribe for future content if you are new to the channel, as well as drop a comment down there letting everyone know how you are running Banshee in 1.8.3. So until next time, guys, I will see you then. You take it easy. Later.